right? Through our school systems and through education and just through the stories that we share. And so I think first and foremost is, the information, right? It's educating ourselves. It's sharing these stories, learning these stories, doing our research. So much of it has been kept out of the school systems, and so it's so important for us to do our research. So I'm learning new stories every day. Over the past 3 months, 2 months, I've learned more about Black people and our experience in this country and our culture than I have, and going through college, right? Mm-hmm. And so, I think it's important for us to share these stories and do our research. And then as far as the celebration, I think that's going to be on us. I already know how, we're going to do. I think today we're going to, have some cookouts going on. I'm going to have some very safe quarantine people in the backyard and light up the grill. And I think it's, we celebrate our ancestors. We appreciate their fight for us. And we look towards the future. And the future is bright. And everybody that's on this chat right now, that's tuned in, man. I don't care if you're Black, if you're white, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian, man. This is a humanity problem, and this is going to take all of us coming together, loving each other, working together, so that 40 years from now, our kids just look at what we were going through as ridiculous. I want our kids to be able to be like, yo, what? Y'all were mad about that? Like, I want it to feel like that to them because of the work that we put in now so that they can have a better tomorrow.
Yeah, you mentioned the education piece. I think that's something that's very important because, as we go through like elementary school and middle school, we don't really learn about these stories. So especially using this day to really, increase your knowledge and really understand like different Black stories. That's also a valid point.
100%, man. I remember being in middle school and high school, and the only things that I can really remember is, we were all laid down in slave ships and how bad, the slave ships in the Middle Passage and all of that was, right? Right. There were no empowerment stories, right? I don't remember my teacher saying, Black people were Tuskegee Airmen that fought, Black people, helped build the infrastructure of this country. Black people were intricate in World War II. And, I don't remember them telling me those stories. And so it's important now, to not look and point the finger and do all of that, but to say, okay, we now have, more information at our fingertips than generations had in their entire lives, right? When I was 12 years old, there was an Encyclopedia Britannicas, right? You had to open up an encyclopedia to look up information. And now, you can Google it, you can research it, you can do your research in the phone that's in your hand. Right. And so I just think it's a beautiful opportunity, man, to do that research and pull together.
Yeah. Just like remember going to the library, you gotta look up the numbers to figure out what book you're looking for. Like, it's crazy. And now everything's like in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
And then, what's like the thing people should take away from this day? Lastly,
I think there's this misconception with Black Lives Matter, and there's this misconception with Black history, and those misconceptions are that it's only for Black people. Right. Mm-hmm. And for me, when I study the Holocaust, right, when I study what happened to, our Jewish brothers and sisters, I take it personally. Right. When I see the Nazi flag, I take that personally. Right. Because it's a humanity thing to me. Mm-hmm. Right. And I've done so much research on the Holocaust and so much research on what happened, to lead to World War II. Like, I feel a lot of us have watched multiple World War II movies and multiple, documentaries on what happened with them, right? Because in order to understand all of us as humans, you have to understand all of the human plight. And so I think the misconception is that, what has happened to Black people is something that only we should research and only we should study. And it's like, I want all people of all races to feel just as passionately about black people in our struggle as they do when they see a Nazi flag, right? And the history and the information is like, yo, this is something that all American kids should know about, right? We're Americans too, you know. And so I just that's the biggest, you know, takeaway for me, and one of the biggest misconceptions is that, like, you know, our history is something that happened in Mars. Like, no, our history happened right here in America, where
American history.
Yeah, it's us. So you know, I think that's very important.
Cool. But yeah, you know, I don't want to take up too much of your time. So, you know, I thank you for coming on and sharing all this information, not only with the Finish Line and JD Thang, but with everyone else tuning in. And yeah, you know, I'm Omar, a senior cultural strategist for Finish Line, and that's Terrence J.
And let me take a minute. Yeah. Omar is the cultural strategist, but Omar has been on the front line so much, and that's why I'm like, I got to applaud brothers like you. Like, this ain't our first rodeo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been moving the culture forward. You've been there on the front lines, and you're there in the corporate office fighting a good fight for us. And so, like, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you, man. Like, you know, you're an integral part of this, and the things that you're doing with Finish Line is very, very important, bro. So thank you so much for all the hard work you do, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, all I can do is, you know, pay it forward and, you know, keep progressing. So
100%.
Yeah. All right, cool. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Have a good one, man. Happy Juneteenth, bro.
All right, you too.
All right, love.
All right.